Should you combine cardio with strength training? Now, this question is no doubt one of the most controversial subjects in all of strength training. Will it kill your gains? Will it increase your gains? And the answer is yes, as in yes to both. It can increase your gains or kill your gains depending on what type of cardio work you're doing and when you're doing it. Now, there are three major variables to consider when programming cardio, and if any of these are off, you have the potential to significantly hinder your progress with strength training. And the first variable is impact. So high impact cardio like running is probably the worst form of cardio to combine with strength training if putting up higher numbers is your top priority. Running, like lifting heavy, causes a significant amount of damage to your muscle fibers, which requires time to recover from. If you choose to combine running, sprinting, or high repetition jump roping with strength training, expect it to negatively impact your lower body performance. Also, if you're doing high impact exercises on your upper body, like boxing or burpees, it's going to have the same effect. You're going to lose some performance on your upper body lifts as well. So real quick, we're going to jump to this meta-analysis study here. We're going to scroll down to the conclusion where it says, for moderator variables, resistance training concurrently with running but not cycling resulted in significant decrements in both hypertrophy and strength. So in other words, combining running with strength training resulted in significant decreases in muscle mass and strength output. Like I said, it's because just the act of running or high impact exercise in general just beats the crap out of your muscle fibers. If you go for a pretty long run, you're sore, your muscle tissue is broken down, and the next day you try to go to the gym and work your legs, you're obviously not going to get nearly as efficient of a workout. So if high impact cardio is the bane of strength training, what is the best type of cardio for lifters? And the answer to that is the obvious one, low impact cardio. So anything that is not going to cause significant impact to your joints. That's going to include using an elliptical or bike or something like that. The reason why low impact cardio is superior to high impact cardio is that it doesn't take nearly as long to recover from, and therefore it's not really going to affect your lifting performance, just as long as the frequency and duration of the exercise is relatively low. And the second variable to consider when you're programming your cardio routine is the frequency in which you're doing cardio and also the duration in which you are doing your cardio workout. So first of all, let me preface by saying that cardio is a requirement. It's something that everybody should be doing, whether you're involved with strength training, whether you're sedentary, whatever the case is. Every human being should be meeting some sort of cardio requirement every week. Now, according to a press release put out by the American Heart Association back in 2015, they recommend for overall cardiovascular health that you need at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity for at least 5 days per week. So you're looking at about 2.5 hours total of moderate intensity, or 25 minutes of vigorous activity 3 days per week. So a total of 75 minutes. Now keep in mind, if you are a gym bro, you're a gym rat, you're in the gym 6 days per week, you're doing high volume resistance training. So in other words, you're working a lot of reps on a lot of different exercises and you're getting about 6 hours per week. I have some good news. Your cardiovascular requirements are pretty much met. So if you are doing high volume resistance training 6 days per week, there's not really a requirement for you to set aside extra time for cardio. All right, so back to talking about frequency and duration. So doing cardio in the gym. So let's say you want to do cardio before or after your workout. First of all, you should not do cardio before your workout. If your primary goal is to gain strength and or hypertrophy, you should definitely be doing your cardio at the end of your session. The reason why is you want to be able to devote as much glycogen and effort into your main lifts as possible. Once you get through the hard stuff, then you're good to get on an elliptical or bike or do some inclined treadmill. If you want to burn some extra calories. Just be sure that you are doing your cardio at the end of your workout and you're limiting it to no more than 30 minutes or so. So we'll go back to that meta-analysis that we cited earlier, where it says correlational analysis identified significant negative relationships between frequency and duration of endurance training for hypertrophy, strength, and power. So in other words, the higher your frequency is, and or the higher the duration of your cardio workout is, the more it's going to negatively impact muscle hypertrophy, strength, and power. So let's talk about doing cardio outside of the gym. So in other words, doing cardio independently on its own. So in a 2017 study published by the Journal of Sports Science Medicine, researchers found that untrained lifters who performed 30 minutes of moderate intensity cycling 24 hours after a bicep workout, as opposed to immediately after, had a 2-fold increase in muscle hypertrophy. So in other words, isolating your cardio routine into its own training day will actually promote more muscle growth from your strength training workouts. Just be careful not to wait too long, or you may be negatively impacted by DOMS, which is the delayed onset of muscle soreness. And I have another study here from the Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise Journal. We're going to scroll down to the conclusion here where it says, furthermore, previous studies have shown that endurance cycle training may also lead to small but significant increases in muscle hypertrophy and strength in physical activity subjects with no experience in regular endurance or strength training. Therefore, the present endurance cycling combined with the hypertrophic and maximal strength training protocols may have led to synergistic rather than adverse effects on strength and endurance performance. So there it is. It's saying that basically if you can isolate a low impact cardio workout into its own sort of routine, it will have a synergistic impact on your strength and endurance performance. So these things are going to work together and build overall strength and endurance. So like I said in the very beginning, there's some forms of cardio that can actually promote muscle growth, while other forms of cardio can hinder muscle growth. This strategy right here is a very good one for promoting muscle growth and strength output. We got one more study here on cycling. So moderate intensity cycling immediately after upper body resistance training influences the magnitude of muscle hypertrophy and relative value of CSA changes, in other words, muscle growth changes, due to systemic factors. This effect was not observed if cycling and resistance training were performed on separate days. These results suggest that timing of endurance training could alter the degree of muscle growth induced by resistance training. So this is just another study conclusion that basically feeds into what we've been talking about. And the third variable to consider is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Now, this is just a fancy way of saying, how much work do you put in on an average day? How much cardiovascular work do you get in just from existing, right? So are you sitting behind a desk a whole lot? Are you a student? Do you work in a cubicle? Are you mostly sedentary? Or, do you work in construction? Do you work on a farm? Are you some sort of auto mechanic? Now, obviously, these two separate groups are going to have much different cardio requirements. People who are in more sedentary careers should be a lot more focused on working cardio into their strength training. However, if you're getting a decent amount of cardio from your non-activity thermogenesis, then pairing cardio with strength training may not be a great option for you. And I would go so far as to saying it might be pointless and may even result in diminishing returns. So just keep that in mind. If you're pretty much naturally active, just be careful of how much cardio you are combining with your strength training. If you are much less active, then adding in that little extra supplementation could go a long way for you. All right, so what can we conclude from this video? So first of all, cardio does not kill gains, but the amount, frequency, and type of cardio that you do may slow down your growth. Low impact cardio is superior to high impact cardio for maintaining strength and muscle gains. Performing low impact cardio on its own training day is not only recommended, but can actually synergize with your muscle growth. And of course, if you're doing cardio in the gym, try not to exceed 30-minute cardio sessions, no more than twice per week. And be sure to do your cardio session at the end of your workout. And of course, if you're going to do cardio outside of the gym, be sure to devote an entire day to just cardio and nothing else. All right, that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. If you really want to help this channel out, go ahead and share the video too. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do so through Patreon and Subscribestar. Links are down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.